Hey guys, I'm Corey Davis, and today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite topics to talk about, one of my big pet peeves on speed training, and that is the idea that conditioning is not the same thing as speed training. So conditioning is where you're trying to get an athlete in shape for their sport. You are conditioning them to the demands that their sport places upon them. Speed training is trying to get an athlete actually faster, and the big mistake people make is they conflate hard work with effective work. So just because an athlete is tired, that does not mean they had an effective speed training workout, even if all you saw them do was run around, touch cones, sprint with sleds, do parachutes, all things that on their own can be good. When you do too much of it or you don't let athletes rest long enough, it turns from good speed training to possibly good conditioning, we don't really know, but bad speed training. Once again, I cannot repeat this enough. Conditioning, getting an athlete tired, getting them sweaty, out of breath, oh, they almost threw up from this workout, it was so hard, does not equate to effective speed training. They are on opposite ends of the spectrum. And I can go into, ATP production, like, creatine kinase system, alactic versus lactic training. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. When you are trying to work on a skill, and speed training is a skill. Speed is a skill you need to work on that has technique and all these different angles. That is something that needs to be done fresh. And you need to let athletes actually sprint quickly. And to do that, you need to let them rest adequately in between. Don't use how tired your athlete is if you're evaluating your program as an indication of how effective your speed training is, because they couldn't be farther from each other. General rule of thumb that a lot of track coaches have used with a lot of success is for every 10 yards you have an athlete sprint, you need to let them rest for 1 minute. So a 40-yard dash should have 4 minutes before you do it again if your goal is actually speed training. If your goal is not to actually get an athlete faster, it's just to get them tired, maybe because you don't know what you're talking about, and when you see someone tired, you think, oh, putting in hard work, that's what I want to see, then great. But if you want to actually get an athlete faster, what you have to do is let them rest adequately to actually display their speed, and have a little bit of faith in your program and your plan that just because an athlete isn't throwing up at the end of their workout or dying, wheezing, falling out, that it wasn't effective speed training, because they're not the same thing. I hope that's helpful. This is honestly a big pet peeve for me and something that I want more people to understand. So if you want any other information about speed training, we have a ton of other videos you can check out. Just check out our Cord One Training YouTube page and check out, agility work, acceleration, top end speed. We have all sorts of stuff we can cover. But a big one for us is, hey, conditioning, speed training, not the same thing. Thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed it.
And don't forget to subscribe for more videos, content, and workouts from Corbland.